Okay. Um, Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation on process automation with Power Automate and AI Builder. So I hope everyone is having a good time and thank you for attending. And today we will talk about a few topics. We will talk about what is process automation, what is RPA, robotic process automation. We also hear a lot of things about no code, low code tool. What are they? How to use that, and how big the business is. There is still some like a question: is it big enough to grow in future? I will answer those type of questions as well. And I don't know how much familiar you guys are with Power Automate. So we'll talk about a bit about Power Automate, the pros, the cons, how to use it, what are the individual use cases that we can solve through Power Automate, and at the end we will jump into few quick demo. And as we are talking about process automation and AI builder, Power Automate, and also OpenAI also comes into that picture. So what we will do is first 20 minutes, 25 minutes or to 30 minutes, we will go through this process automation and Power Automate slide or presentation, which will give everyone the idea about RPA, the Power Automate, the market, the no code, low code, the benefits, like how to design those things, that idea. And then we will jump into the Power Automate section, and I will show how to create an account, what is how much we need to pay to maintain that account, what are the benefits, how to turn on the AI builder, and we will also get into the Azure portal to show how to provision a open AI service or workspace. And from OpenAI service, how can we deploy a couple of models, and how can we use those models from Power Automate to do some email automation, like email summary, document summary, something like that. So we will give a 3 to 4 quick demo, but we will also show how to. It will be a level 100 end-to-end process. So if you want to use add OpenAI models similar to ChatGPT, Turbo, DaVinci, how can you do that? So we will try to cover all of them through this session. And again, if before we jump in, if I give a quick intro about me, my name is Rahat Yasir. I'm a Microsoft MVP. It's been 8 years, quite a few years. And initially, I was an MVP in Windows development. Now I'm in AI for quite a few years, 5 years, I believe, 5 to 6 years. And other than that, I'm from Montreal, Canada. I work at Isaac Instruments as their director of data science and AI. Feel free to stop me if anyone has any questions. So we want to make it more interactive, other than just me showing some presentation. Okay, let's jump in. So as I said, today's session agenda, we will talk about RPA, no code, low code. There are some confusions regarding how big the market is in terms of RPA, no code, low code. So we will try to answer those questions through this presentation. And then we will also talk about Power Automate Flow, RPA, how to design it, what are the pros, cons, that type. And then the last one will be looking at some demos. So now let's talk about RPA, robotic process automation. So RPA is a specialized computer program for sure, known as software robots, to automate and standardize repeatable business process that are typically carried out by employee. So a lot of things that we were doing in the past manually, like email automation or data entry to CRM or scheduling management or consumer behavior analysis or onboarding process. Like onboarding has a checklist of 10 things. We do one by one. So those things were done manually. But now with the robotic process automation, RPA, we can completely automate this entire approach and without any human interruption. So this is why RPA is getting more and more popular. And if someone asks me, okay, how big the market is today? So based on different research, today's market of RPA is $2.3 billion. But again, it is predicted or forecasted that the RPA market will be $30.85 billion by 2030. So in just 7 years, it is going to grow that much. So if you are thinking of creating startup or like some sort of like services or increase your skill on served something, I will suggest you to take a look at RPA, because this is the more chat GPT, like that type of like bird, that type of application or AI comes, robotic process automation will get more and more like strength, because ChatGPT doesn't solve any problem. ChatGPT with RPA can solve a lot of problem. This is what we will talk today. And obviously, the benefit when we do from a human side manually, it's time consuming. It is not sometime accurate. So it's increased accuracy. There is no interruption in workflows. It works based on parameters, and it always improve like morals and experience and increase productivity and accuracy as well. So what are the use cases we can do with RPA? The first one I say is email to CRM, system automation. So when we a lot of times in different marketing agency, different software agency, we get data through email, or do we do email marketing? And then one of the time, like we get the data, we send the data to a bunch of like CRM system. So that type of data automation can easily be done through RPA. A lot of data entry that is happening manually today, we can do this data entry process completely through RPA as well. We can do invoice processing. Invoice will come to your email, and based on your email subject line and the file type, it will automatically send it to RPA. It will convert use form recognizer, find out how much, what is the dollar value, what is this like values, what is the invoice number, and then process that invoice for the payment or something like that. Data analysis, data extraction, manufacturing automation, scheduling maintenance. Because if you are running some sort of maintenance software or like backup software, if you need to do it manually at 4 in the morning every day, you can automate that entire process through RPA. Consumer behavior support and also like reporting. Reporting also plays a big role, because if you have a software and then you want to do weekly reporting, monthly reporting, yearly reporting, quarterly reporting, that type of report is more into like collecting data from multiple databases, CRM systems, and then combine them together. You can automate that one completely. So this is a complete like nice use case on RPA. What is robotic process automation? And again, it's just a computer software that we use to automate stuff. Now the question is, where does a no code low code plays here? So first we talk about RPA, then the second thing is no code low code. So there are also like some confusion in the market. Is no code low code going to make software engineers obsolete? We will lose our jobs? No, like literally no. There's so much work in the market right now, and there will be more in future. The more automation we do, it's not like robots are going to like replicate humans. So what will happen is we so right now I was reading some stats a few days ago. There are like 30 million software engineers in the market in the world right now, and every year we get 1.2 million new software engineers. If you ask like businesses and the growth, that 1.2 million software engineers are not enough. So we need more. So that's why we cannot, as we don't have more, that's why we are looking to more automation. And automation is not to replace humans, because it's not like billions of people does software engineering. No, only 30 million. So we need this type of no code low code tool to be more efficient. We need software frameworks to be more efficient. That's why we are like companies are bringing this type of systems. So the no code low code tool development allows us to create business and mobile apps with literally like very little amount of coding. Sometimes it's just configuration, sometimes it's just like some basic values parameters. Now the question is how big the market is. So the current market size is $4 billion. But again, the more RPA will increase, the more no code low code will get also like the values too. So as RPA is going to be few times bigger in future, we can also say no code low code use case will be few times bigger as well. So the benefit is obviously development cycle is way faster, democratization of development, because those small things that you are doing, because not every single system is used by millions of people. There are certain internal tools, internal automation, some small processing. Instead of writing code, deploying it, maintaining it, hosting it, managing it, you can all like automate that approach with this Power Automate based no code low code tools without all those hassle. And obviously it will help you to automate and more people, non-technical people will be able to like use this type of tool to bring automation in their life rather than like waiting for a software engineer to write that code and like help them. So obviously it's the purpose is to a democratization involving more people, automating operational processes, reducing cost, higher productivity, and effective governance. Because with this, we can easily maintain the governance. We can look at the runtime. We can look at the security very easily. So what are the tools that are available in the market? So some of the tools that are very popular are Zoho, Zapier, Power Apps or Power Automate, Knack, Airtable, Bubble. So again, you don't need to learn like all of them. You can do most of the like tools have a similar feature, to be honest. But the Power Apps or Power Automate, I find it is kind of like more powerful because of Office 365, because of Azure, uh, because of that type of like OpenAI capabilities and use cases. As I already said, data collection apps. So automating manual processes, survey automation, data entry system, small business workflows, business processing, connecting office tools, basic crude operation. We can do all of them with the no code, low code tool. We don't need to like do something very heavyweight because those systems are not designed for a heavyweight task. For heavyweight, we need our software engineers to write the code. Now, in our session today, we will talk about RPA with Power Automate. So, what can we do? What is the market? If you want to learn, why should you learn it? Why and where are like a Power Automate stands in between all the other tools that I just talked about. Now, the first thing is we need to know what RPA like Power Automate offers in terms of RPA, because we know RPA is growing a lot in future. Uh, Power Automate offers automate anywhere at any time. So they offer multiple types of automation. The first one is Power Automate for desktop. It doesn't support Mac. It supports like it runs on Windows, and it can be attended or unattended. So I will also give a lot of examples in next slides, but I'm just like going to go through right now. So Power Automate, you can install Power Automate system and then automate a lot of work in your desktop application. You can also have Power Automate for mobile. So there is an app in Android and iOS. You can download it. You can build one flow, and that flow will be deployed on your mobile so that you can take photos. You can do some data processing from your mobile to like cloud, and also like a lot of other types of like data entry, email automation, that type. There is also like option to use Power Automate for web, and also there is another option to connect your Power Automate with MS Teams for different types of like business automation, business flow, something like that. So if you have a Power Automate, if you want to use Power Automate, you can use it in desktop. You can use it in mobile. You can use it in web-based systems. You can also use it with your MS Teams. So that's why they call it automation anywhere and anytime. And the return on investment. So when we design something on Power Automate, it is like claimed by Microsoft that your ROI in 3 years will be 199%. So if you spend $10 in 3 years, you will get 200% of that return. So it's that efficient, and also it reduced 27.4% of the errors, and it also like increase automation. And out of all the like automation tools that you see, Zoho, Zapier, Power Apps, Knack, Airtable, Bubble, Gartner, which like does surveys on the tools, their maturity. In 2022 Gartner report, they call it Magic Quadrant. Out of all the RPA tool, Power Automate was considered as the leader in this market. So if you want to learn it, it's a good opportunity. Now the question is, what are the use case with Power Automate? Can you actually solve a lot of problems or like use cases? The first thing is automated cloud flow. There are like 6 types of like use case we can solve with Power Automate regarding RPA. First one is automated cloud flow. So you can a bunch of trigger is already designed, like email trigger, SQL trigger, or like SharePoint trigger, that kind. It is already designed, and you just like automate it and just use it in your flow. So an example. So what does it mean by trigger? So you can have an in like a, so you have a Outlook email or Gmail email. So you can set up a flow, cloud flow, and you can say whenever a new email arrives with the subject line of invoice, take that email, take that file, process it, and then uh, enter the value of this invoice to my CRM system. So that triggering, whenever the new email arrives with that individual subject line, we call it trigger. So trigger of the cloud flow, those things are already designed and we can automate those things very easily. Then the second thing is instant flow. So where you don't want to wait for the trigger, some event to happen, you want to manually trigger it. So if you want to like manually entry some data, you can do that with this. Then the schedule flow. So as I said, daily reporting at 4 in the morning, you want to do some SQL query, get some results and create a report on last 24 hours. So that type of like 4 in the morning schedule, running it every 24 hours, every 2 hours, every weekly. So that can be also like triggered. That can be also designed with Power Automate, that type of scheduling flows for this type of daily reporting, weekly reporting, something like that. And then the desktop flow. So as I said, desktop flow only support Windows machines, not the iOS. But if you have a legacy system, suppose you design the system in Windows Form, Windows WPF, or Visual Basic, or something older than that, Fox Pro, even Fox Pro as well. So it is a very old system in a banking system, but you don't want to update it. All you want to do is run it in your in a desktop VM. But again, you don't want to manually input all the data. You have an Excel file that is collected by your web application, but you want to keep a track of your legacy system as well. So in that case, you can automate flows desktop flows, desktop software applications of legacy system through this type of attended and unattended RPA. So this is a very big benefit that a lot of companies are using. Then you have also like process advisor that uses business process automation, and the last one is AI builder. So when we talk about those automation, they are trigger based. But again, sometime for automation, you also need AI like OpenAI service or automated document processing, automated image to text. We will show some demo as well. So in that case, you can use Power Automate with AI builder to do that type of like sentiment analysis, image processing, text processing, predict business outcome, that type of use case. So these are the benefits that is already built in with Power Automate, and you can just use them. Now let's look at the Power Automate flow. How does it work? So this is the right image. It's just like an example of a flow. So this is how it looks like. And you can have hundreds of triggers running in parallel per flow. So all of them are individual triggers, and you can have hundreds of them running in a single flow. So when we talk about like trigger, it just take it as a function. So or when we talk about function in a code, a function does only single thing. So it has a single responsibility. Same does these individual actions as well. So they have a single responsibility. That's all it does. One of them, suppose parse CSV, one of them parse JSON, one of them like get a row from a Excel file, that type. It's very easy to config so that you can have a lot of retry policy, exception handling, encryption process, and on an average, you don't write flows to operate like big task. Usually, you want to execute those flows within 5 to 10 seconds. So those are like small automation tasks. And there are also like options for analytics on the flow so that you can optimize it. You can a lot of built-in facilities are already there. So we will also show them during the demo. Now, when we talk about like flows, so as I said, the Gmail automation, like then the Hotmail automation, live automation, or SharePoint automation, email automation, CSV, getting a list from the MS Teams or Excel file. So those are connectors. So connectors of different third parties. So when you are doing the automation, if you need to write your own connector, that is a lot of work. So you want the companies to build a connector for you so that you just build the flow and that's it. So these are the like just example. All those like Power Automate connectors are already developed. They're already there. All you need to do is drag and drop and use it. You can see Adobe PDF service, Encodian for different types of like data processing, Bing related connectors, OneDrive related connectors. Those are already there. So all you need to do, thousands of standard and premium connectors are there, and you can just like use it for free or premium ones are like for paid. And those are built by Microsoft, third parties, different cloud providers, and it's very easy to integrate. And if you want to like add some business, it is also like it can be a good option as well. You can build your own connector, test it, and add it in this Power Automate section, so that whenever someone is using it, they will pay you for those connector usage. So that's another like easy way of selling your API or like a software system. Now the question is there any enough example or templates to do those type of things? The answer is yes. So when you like search on Power Automate template, you will see hundreds of templates are already there, from Office 365 automation to save Gmail attachment to your Google Drive to adding data to CRM or Microsoft Forms or SurveyMonkey. All of them are built in. You can reuse some of the template with your own configuration, or you can even like build your own template and suggest them too. So this is another good benefit. Now the question is, what are the capabilities in terms of like RPA? So there are two types of RPA. One is attended, another one is unattended. So in terms of like both like a desktop and web like RPAs, attended is the one when you are maintaining it, you are controlling it. But unattended is the one something is scheduled or trigger based, or it automatically triggers based on certain data threshold or something like that. So the uh, desktop like Power Automation, that the Power Automate like RPAs that we see, they support Windows Server 2016, 19, 2022, and Windows 10. So older versions they don't support that, and also like as I say, in Mac or like other like machines doesn't support that as well. But again, you can install Power Automate apps on your iPad or that type of like applications as well for certain types of automation. Built-in analytics is already there to improve your business process automation. There is also like this type of dashboard you get built in so that you can optimize your flows. You can see run times. You can see which action is taking how much. You can see errors. You can also see like on the right that you see if you have a big flow, you can also see all those like runtime, which one is taking more, how can you make it faster, how can you make your process automation efficient. So when you create an account, it's not free for sure. It's a $40 per user per month for all the RPA capabilities. When you pay $40 per user, you can create 5,000 automation flows under a single account. So all the automation that you saw, 5,000 of them in a single account. And you can also have, you also get 5,000 AI builder capability. I'll show some example of AI builder as well with this one. Now the question is, if you want to use AI, so how can you use AI with Power Automate? Now that there are two ways. The first way is you can have cognitive service and all the cognitive service, speech, image processing, DALI, Azure OpenAI services are a part of the cognitive services too right now, like Chat GPT based, like GPT-4, LLM or Turbo Engine or like Da Vinci code, like text processing, like LLM as well. So you can use your Power Automate RPA with the cognitive service or OpenAI services and use them as a connector, through a HTTP communication, something like that. Or there is a bunch of like built-in AI builder, like AI feature is already there. You just connect it and use that. I will show demo. Or the third way actually, so this the first way is more into like for built-in and using the HTTP of OpenAI and also like cognitive services. And the second way is if you have a custom AI model trained on Azure machine learning, you can also like deploy that machine learning model in Azure ML and then connect your Power Automate through HTTP with that model and send the HTTP request, get the response, and then do something with that model. So you can either use cognitive services, AI builder, connect them with your Power Automate, or you can have your own custom model, connect them with HTTP communication or RESTful API services. Now the question is, when we talk about AI builder, or as I was saying, there are certain built-in AI builder or AI features that are already there. What type? There are three types of AI builder or built-in facilities are already there. First one is image processing, second one is text processing, and third one is document processing. I will show in my demo two of them, some image processing, image analysis, and like a document processing quickly so that you get the idea. And all of them are already built in a part of the AI builder facilities. Now the question is, and if you want to use your own model with Azure ecosystem, how to do that? So they call it Citizen AI with Power Automate. So Citizen AI is something that enables everyone to design AI model or use AI model. So when you are bringing the data to different types of like data ingestion services, like Event Hub, IoT Hub, Synapse Analytics Pipeline, Synapse Analytics, store them into the data lake, and then use Azure Machine Learning to train the model. You can deploy the model in a managed endpoint or in a Kubernetes service, and then you can connect your Power Automate apps or like Power Apps with the Azure Machine Learning endpoint to do different types of like inferencing, prediction, something like that. So they call it low-code application development and process automation process with your existing custom AI model. So this is just like an example that you can do, but there are like more advanced thing you can do as well. Now the question is, if you want to do this citizen AI with Power Automate, so obviously you need to you can import your AI model in AI Builder, or you can even like deploy your AI model in ACI or AKS, as I said, and then connect your AI model with Power Apps and Power Automate, and then do certain types of like prediction, RPAs, or something like that with HTTP communication. So this is kind of like high level, but as I said, we will give 25 minutes of some theories to talk about RPA, what is no-code, low-code tool, how to use that, what is the process automation, what are the benefits we get, so that kind. Next 20-25 minutes, we will do some like a quick demo so that you get the idea, okay, how does a flow looks like? How do we run a flow? What type of AI builder we can use? And also like how can we use OpenAI services with our Power Automate, as that is the main goal of this session. So in our demo, we will do four types of demo quickly. First one is we will check an email automation. Can we do an email automation with OpenAI, GPT kind of service, like a language model, and Power Automate or not? We'll also check, can we use Power Automate to OpenAI API communication? Then the third one is we will use email and document processing. Can we do that? And we will also like see how can we turn on the OpenAI communication, OpenAI like provision OpenAI workspace, and go a bit more detail. So far, any question from anyone? Okay, if there is no question, then we will jump into the Power Automate side. So let's jump into the Power Automate. So how does it look like? So this is how a Power Automate like portal looks like. So if we just like search quickly, Power Automate pricing. So how much does it like cost to create a Power Automate? So you can see, as I was saying, there are three types of like licensing process. First one is per user plan, $15 like per month. But again, it just gives you some basic cloud flow. Then the second one, which I use, which is $40 per month, you get the cloud flow, you get the desktop automation option, and also you get 5,000 AI builder credit. And the last one is if you have bigger flows, which requires dedicated machine, dedicated computation, then it's $100 per flow per month, and you can have minimum. You need to have minimum 5 flows. In that case, you can have unlimited number of people working on that one single flow, doing a lot of like cloud automation as well. Plus, there's some option as a pay as you go too. So as I said, we are in our Power Automate portal. First thing, if you want to use AI Builder, one of the first thing you need to do is go to the admin center and you need to turn on some features. So if you go to the admin center, There is a thing called environments. So you can create your own environment, you can choose the region, you can choose the type of environment, sandbox, trial, developer, production, or trial as well. So it's similar to, and you can also choose what type of features you want to have, like pay as you go, or like fixed, or some sort of like account based. So one of the thing is it's similar to like development environment, so that you can test your model, like try your things, and then do something more detailed. So I've clicked on my dev environment, which is AI dev flow. So this is how an environment looks like. So to use AI Builder, you need to first turn it on, because sometimes it's automatically turned off by default. So go to your environment, then click your settings, then click your product, click your features, and then you need to turn on this AI Builder preview model on. So if it sometime it's automatically off, so in that case you won't be able to use those power AI Builder features or something like that. So once you turn it on, which means you can see I have my AI dev flow, it's already turned on, and I can like use any type of automation flows or something like that. So how does it work? So if I just give an example, like if I click an instant cloud flow, manual trigger, just ABC test, and create. So as I turn it on, you will see AI Builder is showing here. So okay, and then I can select AI Builder features, AI Builder actions from here. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to quickly show. If you want to use it, you will have to like turn it on. Now the thing is, before we jump into the demo, I want to also create my OpenAI account, so that we can use that one in our demo as well. So let's go into the Azure portal. Now I have already it's this one is already provisioned, but if you want to use it, very easy. Just click Open AI, and then okay, there is OpenAI is there. So Azure OpenAI services. Now click. What you can do is you can create. Once you click that one, you need to select what type of subscription you have. You need to select resource group. You can create a new, uh, or you can use existing resource group. I'm gonna use like suppose some create new Open AI test RG, something like that. So then I need to select region. It's better to choose East US, because a lot of m- uh, like uh, models are already deployed in East US. And again, you can also see only 3 of them are available, because not all region have OpenAI services. Then I'm gonna select name, test uh, demo 1.1. Okay, and then the pricing tier. For now, I'm gonna select a standard, but if you want to see full pricing detail, you can also like see it here. So how much does it cost for different types of text model and other types of like Code DaVinci, Chat GPT, GPT 3.5, that kind. So for us, let's get into the standard is 0, and if you click next, and you can put tags, click next, and then you can review and create. If I click, it will automatically go there and create this resource group and also like the instance for me. So while it's in deployment, let's go where I have already deployed one. So this is my OpenAI API test that I have already created. Once it is ready, you will see something like this exactly. So you can see the pricing tier that we select standard. You can see a location, resource group, and all those other information. You will need few information. One is the key and endpoint. If you want to use OpenAI models, you need this key uh, plus the endpoint as well, because every single endpoint, like when you provision it, you get your own endpoint. So this is also like unique for you, and it's important. Now the question is the model. What type of model we can deploy and how to use it? So I have already deployed a couple of models, but again, if you click create here model and then click create, and then you need to select like M1 or model 1, and then select the model as well. As I said, just provisioning this OpenAI service is not going to give you the model right away. You need to like click one of them. Suppose in my case, I can just select just for the demo. Text similarity ADA001 as ML1. Version, you can select a version, and that it also gives you what it is good at. It is good at percent text, simple text classification, address correction, keywords, something like that. Then if you click save, it will automatically deploy this model within this environment for me so that I can use it. So you can see these two, test Vinci and GPT-3 is already deployed. I can just use that one. Now, another question is, what does it mean about text Da Vinci and GPT Turbo 35? So if I just give a like a quick like overview, so on your OpenAI service, if you do a like a OpenAI service model, do a quick Bing search, you will see a bunch of models are already there. So as I was saying, GPT-3 models, GPT-4 models, Da Vinci. So it gives a complete description of those models. So if I see what is Da Vinci, you can see it is similar to GPT-3. Sorry. Da Vinci is the most capable codex model, can perform any task, blah, 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 that model requires. So this is it's the most capable model for data processing right now or text processing. So obviously we will use that. Plus there is another one is Chat GPT. We can also like a GPT-34 Turbo. So if we just go into the like quick test, I have a quick uh, like a Postman open for API test. So just to test if I can use it or not. So the first one is I need the endpoint. So as I was showing, this is the endpoint, OpenAPI test.openapi.azure.com. Then on your it needs to be post. You also need to add what type of like model, what is the model name. In our case, if you remember, the model name is test Vinci 1. So I just selected test Vinci 1, and you also need to select the like API version. So in our case, there are two types of API version available right now. One is March 3 like 15 2023, which is on preview, and another one is December something 2022. I have used the selected the updated one, which is the preview model. So this is my API looks like. And exactly after turning it on, you can just like prepare this API endpoint for you and then use it. In your header, you need to pass the key, API key, as I was showing. This is the key endpoint. Copy this one and then use that. So API key, and then you need to like put a JSON in your like body so that you can ask whatever you want to ask to the prompt. So in my model, I selected text DaVinci 003. Prompt is I'm just writing, tell me about cricket or tell me about football. Uh, oh, the it's okay, or any others. Let's see. Yeah, tell me about football, and I can also select the temperature, how detailed I want it, how accurate I want it, and how big of a result and response I want. So I want the max token size is 100, and this is the prompt question I'm asking. If I'm sending it, you see the response I get. Okay, it's done. So the detail is ID object created this, model is text DaVinci 003, and this is the response I got from my GPT model. So football is a team sport played between two teams, blah, blah, blah. It's telling me about football. If I say, tell me about IPL and see what does it say. Does it knows that or oh it knows the Indian Premier League is a professional T20 cricket blah 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 blah. So it is interacting me and I can use that through some API communication. It's just an example I wanted to show. Okay, so this is how this API structure looks like. We need to pass the model name, we need to pass the information on the prompt, the max token size and the temperature as well. Now let's go back to the OpenAI Power Automate and see our like a quick demos on this model. So the first one I wanted to show is automation flow that I will use AI Builder. So we will do some like a four quick demo. First one is we will show the capabilities of AI Builder. As I said that there are a bunch of like AI Builder or actions are already there. So it's a very simple one. So suppose I just downloaded by the site this, where is that? this basic mockup. So I downloaded from Google. Uh, this is a business card of Johnny Doe, a graphics designer. So what I want to do is I want to create an automation flow. What it does, it takes this image as it is, and then it finds out what is the name, what is the business title, what is the phone number, all those details. So I don't want to do it manually. I want my flow to do that automatically, my AI. So it's a very quick manual trigger flow. I can just like, as I was showing, you can just create new, a manual trigger, add new input. You can add multiple text files, those things. In this case, I just created a file and then I just added here. If you add new action, you can select AI builder action, and then you can select any type, document processing, business card processing, something like that. In my case, I just selected extract information from business card. The file content, I just passed it here. I just selected file content, that's it. So it's already passing. So whatever file I'm choosing, it's automatically passing to this individual action. And then from this action, I'm getting a bunch of information. So first name, last name, title. Suppose I also select like contact information. Uh, Formation and see it automatically gives me contact information or not. Okay, extract information, which is this action. It has already a bunch of like this is the parameter. So I'm just selecting contact information is suppose mobile phone. Say it gives me the mobile phone or not. So it's a very simple flow with the three actions and then save it. And then I will just select that individual file I was just showing. So it's saving. It's so easy to build. It takes 1 or 2 minutes. I will click test manually, test. So it's asking me to upload the file, just this step, import. I can select my this BC mockup, the one I just showed, run flow. Now it will run, it will send this like image to this AI builder action. It will get the response and then it will show me here. So let's see. So you can see it's just running. 0 second for this first one, 8 second. Okay, it's taking some time because it's a uh, AI service outside. It's doing a lot of like image processing, uh, image to OCR, and then getting the response. Okay, it took 21 seconds for this individual. And then if we see the result, so we passed, this is the request we got. This is the went through. Okay, so Johnny Doe name, contact information, phone number is null. But if you look at this image, it was able to detect the name. It was able to detect the title of this job, but it did not detect the mobile phone number. So we will have to like see other like parameters as well. What other type of data it's getting, what is the response it's getting, something like that. So if you click on the response, you can see all those information. Okay, that's a lot. Is accurate by our like business extract information from business card individual section like AI action, and we can check. We can build this type of like quick automation of document processing, business card processing, PDF processing with AI builder like features or actions. So this was one of them quickly that I wanted to show. If there is no other question, I'll jump in into the next one. So the second one I wanted to show is API. So as I was showing this quick API, if you guys remember, so this one from Postman, I passed this post to this endpoint, this JSON with this header. Can I do the same thing from Power Automate? So let's click it here. Yes, we can. We can have a manual trigger. There is nothing on the trigger. What happens is whenever we turn this flow on, it just does this post request. So we can ask, as I said, it's a HTTP. If you go there here, select HTTP trigger, you can automatically select HTTP this one. In my case, this is the one I have selected. I have selected the method HTTP post. I have selected exactly the URI, which is the one I was showing, and I selected the text Vinci model here. I passed the API key, and I have also selected the JSON, which is passing that in my body. I've selected the model, I have temperature, max token, but here I'm saying which team was the winner of Indian Premier League 2021. So Can we communicate with Power Automate API HTTP API request to OpenAI service? So let's see if we just save that one and run that one manually and see what happened. So from OpenAPI, like a Power Automate, we just passed it. It took almost 0 second, and then boom, it's done. So we got status code 200, and then this is the request I sent. Model prompt text temperature max token. This is exactly the information, and then you can see, yes, the Mumbai Indians were the winner of the Intel Premier League 2021. So it knows the answer and it gave me the answer right away through the prompt. So this is another thing we can do different types like HTTP communication or API request or API automation. Power Automate with with different types of like API request. So we can also use that one. The third thing I wanted to like quickly show that email automation. So suppose if we get an email in my email address, can we summarize the email and then find out what is the email summary? And so when we get emails, sometimes the email bodies are big. Can Power Automate and OpenAPI help me to summarize that email in 100 words and see it works or not? So for that one, what I have done is I have created a Cloudflow. When a new email arrives on my email address, it will automatically trigger. I'm also selecting which email, so it's my email ID. I'm also selecting the subject. So whenever the subject will be email summary, it will trigger. Other than that, it won't trigger. In my email body, it is HTML. So I'm doing some conversion of HTML to text. So I'm just passing the email body, and this action is automatically like converting it. And then whenever the text I'm getting from HTML to text, I'm just passing it to GPT 35, which is a turbo model, and asking it to summarize this passage, which is the email body that I received, and I'm just passing this email body and see can my Power automate this email or not, email summarization process. So let's try this one, and I'm just like turning it on and see. So before that, I also need to send an email to myself. So this is an email summary. I just copied this one and I'm just sending new email. So this is the email body. So I'm selecting this one and I'm saying email summary. So now let's see, send it. So I have sent a new email to myself and see, boom, I got this email with this exact subject line with this body. And let's see what happened if I go back to my flow. So you can see this flow is on. It's waiting to trigger. So as I have already received this email, so it should trigger any moment. Boom, it triggered. So which means I have received this email. It triggered. It converted that entire HTML, which was the body, into text. So as you can see, this was the text, and this is the text now, the plain text content, which I converted from HTML to text. And then I pass this text to and send it to a, like OpenAI Turbo model. So this is the exactly summarize this passage, and then I pass this entire big passage and see did it summarize or not. So this is the response I got. So what caused winter? It does some summarization and some response. Okay, it gives me some answer. Maybe it's not the right answer. It's not a good answer. We need to like check that one. So, but again, the purpose is to like summarize that. It does the summarization. We can also like change this model into like other types of like API. So as I was saying, the OpenAPI, the other one is the best like in terms of accuracy. So let's select that one. So I'm just passing it through this one, which is DaVinci. And then in my model, I'm just selecting this one, this model. The same thing with this. So everything is same. I just changed the type of the model. Okay, let's save it. We don't need to like go back and like send the email again and again. So one of the quick way of like doing debugging is this is a flow that has already been done. We can resubmit it. If we click it, we can resubmit, and then the entire process will run it again, but with a different HTTP structure. You see, this is the same summary I passed it with the to DaVinci like model. This is the full text, and again, this is the summary I got. So it's nice. Winter is the coldest season of the year. This is a blah 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 blah, a bunch of like summary, and it's again we have selected 100 token. What if we modify it more? We select I want the summary in 25 words, not more than that. So let's see, can it give me a more specific summary or not? Let's go back and then we resubmit this task and then see what happened. Boom, it's done. It took 1 second. So the same, I passed this big text and again, we got the summary in 25 text. You see, winter is the coldest season of the year in polar and temperature climate, blah, 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 occurring after autumn and before spring dew. So it gave me a summary of this big passage in a single sentence just because I said I want this entire summary in 25 max token or 25 words. So you can do this type of like email automation with this Power Automate and OpenAI services. The fourth one is we can also pass different types of documents, PDF or like images as well. So as I was also talking that there are so many connectors are built third party. So in this example, what I've done is I will upload a file manually, and the file is just this. So it's a topic about FIFA World Cup. So I just like pass this image, and then I want to convert image to text as an OCR, and then I'm selecting the image type, the file content, and then I want like my OpenAI service to summarize this text, summarize this passage, and see can it do it or not. So let's run it. Select manually test, and then import. I just selected this one, sum.png, and then I pass it, and then done. So I'm using a third-party connector to convert this image into text. It is also like there are two options, free option, paid option. You can see if you use it for 100, 200, 300 times a month, it's free. Or when you use it for thousands of times, it's paid. So boom, it's done. It took 8 seconds to convert that image PNG into text. And you can see the entire text image is converted into text. So this was the image, the FIFA World Cup offers, blah, 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 these things. And you can see FIFA World Cup often simply called blah, 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 those things. So now I passed this text into my GPT Turbo model as well to summarize it. Summarize this passage, blah. And see, this is the exact summary. And it did a summary of it goes without saying that World Cup is very important event, blah, 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 blah. It does a complete summary of this text by itself. So you can do this type of like automation. You can do email summary. You can do API based automation. You can do text processing based summarization as well. And the more OpenAI services we get, the more power our RPA will get. And we can do this type of like automation very easily. So this is it for my demo. So it was like a quick introduction about RPA, no code, low code, and then how to provision OpenAI service, how to use it, how to use Power Automate for different types of like API automation, email summarization, document processing, and something like that. So that's it about my quick demo and quick presentation. If anyone has any question, feel free to ask me. Other than that, if you have any question, you can also like contact me through email or LinkedIn or Twitter as well. Thank you.